Syracuse today from head to toe. I got my SU socks on. So it's great to be here, everybody, and I'm so proud to be here. But before I begin, I want to remember, as we all do, that 2 Sundays ago, this community lost 2 selfless heroes. Today and every day, we salute and remember Syracuse Police Officer Michael Jensen and Onondaga Sheriff Department Lieutenant Michael Husak. Their dedication to serving the public and their selfless heroism motivates and inspires us to build a Syracuse and a Central New York community that is safe, that is healthy, that is vibrant for all who live here. Let us always commit to that very important effort. Now, it is so good to be here on such an important day for this community's future and for America's future. First, he's not wearing the orange socks, but he's Syracuse all the way. Let's give it up for our great guest, President Joe Biden. Mr. President, welcome back to Syracuse. This city will always be home for you. Now, this is a historic day, a historic investment, a historic moment for Syracuse, for upstate New York, and for all of America. Today we celebrate one of the largest federal investments for a single project ever in upstate New York. Thanks to our CHIPS and Science Law, $6 billion, that's with a B, will supercharge Micron to build the most advanced memory chip factory in the world right here in Syracuse in Central New York. The most advanced chip memory factory in the world, right here. So we are rebuilding upstate New York's economy one microchip at a time. Our country will be more economically secure because of Micron. Our national security will be stronger because of Micron. And Syracuse, Central New York, and upstate New York's economy will be more prosperous because of Micron. This expansion will bring nearly 50,000 good-paying jobs, enough to fill every seat in the JMA Dome. The funding will help Micron invest a record more than $100 billion in upstate. Folks, this is the largest single private investment in all of New York State's history, and one of the largest private investments ever in the nation's history. Is not that great? And Micron, which has always been such a progressive company, is doing this while supporting quality jobs above and beyond when compared to the rest of the industry. Every square foot of Micron's massive expansion, the size of 40 football fields, will be built with good-paying union construction jobs, the largest PLA, progressive labor agreement, ever in American history. And listen to this. Micron is the only company providing child care to its workers on all of their sites. Micron is fully committed to building an inclusive and diverse workforce, and Micron is publicly committed to the rights of workers to form and join unions and collectively bargain. Micron is leading the way as the only major company to agree to sit down with unions and have a conversation about the future of their workforce. Very soon, the world's most advanced memory chips will be recognized by a simple phrase that will be known around the world: made in upstate New York. For the first time in 20 years, we're bringing back leading-edge memory chip production to the U.S. That loss of manufacturing is all too familiar for the families in this community and in all of upstate New York. I still shake with anger when the head of UT, United Technologies, told me they were going to shut down and move operations of Carrier out of Syracuse to Asia. I still am infuriated when I remember him saying that. So I made it my mission to change that. I wrote and crafted the CHIPS and Science Law with Syracuse and upstate New York as my North Star. I wrote the bill with this day in mind, and here we are. Oh yeah, today this vision becomes a reality, and the bill delivers bigger for Central New York than I even imagined, and I had a big memory for that, large grand memory at first. Now, it took a lot of work to get the CHIPS bill over the finish line. It wasn't easy to convince everyone in Congress about the importance of this bill, but I kept pushing and pushing and pushing because I knew the huge stakes for Central New York and for our country. Because of CHIPS and Science, the law we passed, and we did it bipartisan, America's future will be built in Syracuse, not in Shanghai. And folks, during those intense days, those final days that Congress negotiated the bill, I spoke with CEOs like Sanjay, who told me emphatically that if we fail to enact the incentives contained in the CHIPS bill, companies like Micron would have to look overseas to other countries to build these fabs. It's no exaggeration to say that without CHIPS and Science, investments like Micron would not have been possible, and the future for upstate New York might have looked very, very different. So, to all those who had their doubts, Micron is here, Micron is real, it's never going away. We're here for good, and this is going to be great. And today, the federal government is betting big on the bright future for upstate New York. And Micron's not the only one. I've been working real hard to get the benefits throughout the state. We have global foundries in the Capital Region, Wolfspeed in Utica, Edwards Vacuum in Genesee County between Rochester and Buffalo, and so much more. And it's not just New York, although we're doing damn well. It's Idaho and Ohio and Arizona and Texas and New Hampshire and more are seeing new investments and new jobs thanks to CHIPS and Science. We are bringing back manufacturing jobs to America. And I want to thank the person who made this great moment possible, and that is President Joe Biden. Upstate New York is proud to call President Biden one of our own, and Syracuse is part of the president's DNA. He knows the struggle people face here to make ends meet. He's seen it. He's lived it through his family. For him, it's personal. He knows we must invest in places like Syracuse to create an economy that lifts everyone from the bottom up and the middle out. And while she's not here, I want to thank Secretary of Commerce Gina Raimondo and Deputy Secretary Graves, who deserve so much credit for this investment. I knew from our very first conversation when I was beginning to conceive this law that she got it. She knew the importance of reviving American manufacturing, and rebuilding upstate New York. I want to thank Governor Kathy Hochul and her Empire State Development team. She has been a genuine partner with us on many of these endeavors, including landing Micron and making New York a global hub of the microchip industry. And someone special, County Executive McMahon. Ryan, your vision on finding that plot of land. When I started trying to woo companies here, they said, do you have a site-ready place? A lot of places didn't. Syracuse did because of you, Ryan. So he made sure how a plot of land in Clay, New York could grow into a field of dreams for new investment. I want to thank Mayor Walsh, Rob Simpson of Center State, Greg Lancette of the local building trades, and so many other great union leaders from across the state and across the country who are here to celebrate this wonderful moment and who worked with us to bring Micron to New York. And last but not least, let me also thank my friend Sanjay Mehrotra. Since the first time we talked about all New York has to offer, and he made us jump through a whole lot of hoops, he's been a man of his word. Sanjay has shown time and time again about how much he cares about the country, about bringing new life back to upstate New York, about investing in the workers. He cares about his workers. Sanjay deserves tremendous credit for his leadership and commitment to making one of the largest investments in the nation's history. Just like the federal government, he and Micron are betting big, not just on the U.S., but on upstate New York. So Sanjay, come on out here. Together, we know this is not just a once-in-a-generation investment. It's an investment that will span generations, with Micron in the lead and Central New York going to great heights. Sanjay Mehrotra, everybody.